that's a winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? How we doing at the mighty, mighty Reds of Manchester do the job against Leicester City, against the Foxes at home. It was an important win, a big 3 points. Clean sheet, number 180 for David De Gea. Bruno Fernandes, honestly, one of his best games in a Manchester United kit this season. 2 assists, should have had 3 or 4. If Wout Weghorst had finished his chances, Rashford with a brace, Sancho with a nice goal, and it was a beautiful team goal at that. And most importantly, we had some nervy moments. We started the game not on the best footing, but De Gea made a bunch of big saves. United steadied the ship. Erik ten Hag makes some adjustments at halftime, and United go on to roll, get a big win in the league, and importantly, some momentum pushing them into the week. So it's a big week. We got Europa League leg 2 against Barcelona, and then of course we have the cup final on Sunday at the Wembley against Newcastle, who are sliding at the best time possible for Manchester United. Their starting keeper is unavailable. Their second ranked keeper is unavailable because he's cup tied for Manchester United, Dubravka. And guess who it is? Your boy Karius, sir. Karius back in the fold. Could it be? Should it be? First piece of silverware under the new manager. But either way, the feels are high. It was a great watch in this game once United got their feet underneath them. And Marcus Rashford just continues to impress. What a player. Beyond the level that any of us could have even imagined, especially this year, settling under this new manager. But he just looks like a boy possessed. How we feeling? How we doing?
3 points early in the morning Pacific time makes you feel good the whole day, carries you through, and it's springtime. The weather's getting nice outside. Finally here. I know we're soft in Cali, but now it's a really great weekend, really nice day, and that means it's springtime. And when it's springtime, it's all about chipping up, and 3 points is better than 1, which is better than 0. And we've been eating 3 like we're hungry, hungry hippos lately under our manager, the man, Erik ten Hag. And that is what it's all about. You look at the Arsenal result, tough. Jorginho off of the Argentinian troll's head, goes in the net. They get lucky just like they got lucky at home. The luck seems to be on their side for the title. City draw Forest, poor Forest side away. We chip up. We're 3 off City. Arsenal could still bottle it. We're in the mix. It's not a race yet. But when you're that efficient versus Leicester City, in the second half at least, you got to feel good to be a Manchester United fan. It doesn't matter if Wout is struggling. It doesn't matter if we had a horrid start to the game and looked like we were going to concede and De Gea had to bail us out, because it's 3 points. And when you're getting 3 goals and you're getting a clean sheet, it does not matter how you draw it up, because that's good football at Old Trafford, and that's what fans want this time of the year. And I just want to be in that race.
A lot of games left, 15 games left in the season, a lot to play for. Like you said, it's spring. It feels like spring, at least where we are, but it's still mid-February after all. Spring proper, isn't for a little over 30 days. But that being said,
this is spring of the EPL. I mean, it is kind of spring of the EPL.
I think once we get through the EFL Cup final, then it really feels like spring.
Apologies to everyone in the Midwest and Northeast.
I'm about to say, it is 62 here today.
It feels like spring in Cali.
It feels like spring here. Maybe not feels like spring everywhere. But when you're playing like this, when you're getting results like this,
but the winter's thawing, games are important.
I just shipped an American Red Devil beanie, so it's cold somewhere. Wherever I just sent that, it's colder than it is here. Shout out to the American Red Devil fans buying merch. Appreciate you. And shout out to this team, this 11. Like you said, Leicester came out looking to score a goal, go at us. We looked real open in the back. We just kind of looked a little bit out of sorts. Fred didn't help by giving the ball away left, right, and center. But David De Gea, he had a couple bad giveaways. David De Gea, dude, in the form of his life. When he's hot, and right now he is hot.
What did you say? What did you say about our boy?
In the form of his life.
What did you say about our boy? You want to pay him less money? Get out of here.
Yeah, I want to pay him less money.
No way.
Of course I want to pay him less money. He wants to get paid less money.
He's brave. He's Spanish.
He deserves $200K a week, not $400.
Flying through the air.
Get that man some free donuts.
Come and take a shot if you dare. Come on, let's go.
He was Spaniard, huge today.
Baby.
He was huge today.
Huge
he had
for
a
this
great
team.
Performance. He has a place to play. He's not going nowhere.
Have you ever won a title?
We need someone to challenge him. Hold on a second, guy. I know we're fired up. I know we're having a good time. We're excited about those 3 points. David De Gea, he's the man. Today he was great. He was great. He was terrific. We're going to need him to be great for the next 2 matches because he's going to have to come up big against Barcelona on Thursday. And you know what? Newcastle, their cheeky side, they're going to have the opportunities. I can't wait. There's so much exciting football going on. We're still in 4 cup competitions. We've got a final in a week from today. And United are winning games convincingly when they don't even play their best football without their best player. 3-0 is not convincing. This is not.
Could have been 2-0 to Leicester. I mean, like this one could have. It's not. Or
it's convincing. The scoreline, bro.
We strive for better clinicality. If you're not familiar with that word, you haven't listened to the podcast long enough because we did get a clean sheet, but it could have looked a little better. So we could have been more clinical across the pitch. But, sir, what do we know? We're just Muppets here. Quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the American Red Devils and you want to support independent fan content, that's right. We don't have any commercial sponsors. We're not selling you anything you don't need. Check out our Patreon page. It's essentially like a tip jar. There's tons of benefits. Sign up at patreon.com/American Red Devils. Patreon's not your bag. Grab some merch, AmericanRedDevils.store. Like Alex said, beanies, scarves, hoodies, shirts, stickers, pins, you name it. Everything ARD, everything to support this amazing club. Grab it on our store. Everything you buy supports this small-time podcast. Check out our website, too, AmericanRedDevils.com. Getting the fan voice out there, fan blog content only on our website as well. We're that small, independent football fandom podcast. Support us all the way and tell them about iTunes reviews. Another great way to support us. Like, subscribe, retweet, etc. All goes a long way. It's just me and Alex in his garage at the later part of winter, early spring.
Early. Speaking of small-time shop, we are a small-time shop. We do it all, sir. A great way to help support this small-time shop that is truly for fans by fans is write 5-star reviews on iTunes or Spotify. Wherever you listen to the American Red Devils podcast, it's a great way to support us. It helps us get found by other top Muppets like yourself. And even better, we have an extra special giveaway at the moment. We are giving away free American Red Devil Glazer out scarves, green and gold, so the club is sold. I know there's a sale process, but they ain't gone yet. And there are rumors that they don't want to leave. They want a minority deal. I don't buy it. But anyway, get your scarf. This is how you do it. Write a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes and send a screenshot to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I will personally pick, pack, and ship a free Glazer out scarf sent it right to your door anywhere in the world. It's keeping me busy these days. Here's a great one, a 5-star from Max Health Joey. Best United podcast. Love the biased fan take. The boys are hilarious and know what they are talking about. Both my father and I love the podcast. Thank you, Max Health Joey. Thank you, all the American Devils listening week in, week out, writing those reviews.
Week in, week out.
Week wout. He was a week wout today. This guy wasn't convinced. It wasn't convincing enough. Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0.
No, I was
famous
just
Old Trafford.
Not clinicality. We
played like a shitty 20 minutes and then otherwise dominated.
Click, clack, clinicality, baby. Let's go. Manchester United 3. Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0. So it's illegal. We should be arrested for having too much fun doing this podcast. Old Trafford.
We are in a garage.
League.
That is correct. This is a garage, though. It sounds cool, bunker. We're in a room connected to the garage.
Sorry, it's a special room, one which we have decorated with lots of photos of Manchester United lifting trophies, and hopefully we are a few days away from getting back to that. Let's get into this lineup. We had Dave saves world number 1 in net. Luke Shaw at left back. Martinez, Lindell, soft center back pairing. Delo at right back. Fred, Sabitza, midfield. Bruno on the right. Weghorst at 10. Rashford at 9. Garnacho on the left. Sir, what you smoking, man? I ain't smoking. I'm breathing. Eric Ten Hag. What about starting Weghorst at number 10?
He's going to play every game.
He is a Mad Dutchman. He's got a new nickname, Mad Dutchman.
Yeah, he's our Mad Dutchman. I can't speak for
Weghorst. He's in the lab cooking up things that no one's going to expect.
Should have scored today. I don't know. He's going to play every game. We don't have another fit number 9 other than Marcus Rashford. And he doesn't like to play him as our sole number 9, so hard to say. I mean, the big one for me is we know this midfield. Casemiro's out, so it's always going to be Fred, Sabitza, and Bruno. I am happy to see that he did bench Varane. Varane needs a bench, right? He's going to start the Barcelona game, of course, and the Cup final, so good opportunity. I thought Maguire would come in. He was injured. Apparently, he got a knee injury in warm-up. It was unavailable, so Lindelof, sir, put some respect. He played decently today. I think playing next to Lisandro Martinez makes any player play their best. And Luke Shaw out at his preferred left back position. Delo at right back. What's not to like, sir? A lot to like.
What's not to like? The start. United to come out. It was just really cagey from the jump. Turning over the ball. Couldn't play out from the back. You lose Casemiro there. Like Fred, Sabitzer, they need time. And then you feel like without our general, our Brazilian general in the middle of the field, we're wide open. Delo's a little rusty. Lindelof jumping right in to play with Martinez. He doesn't play with him too much. And then Luke Shaw out on the left. De Gea, it's not his strong point playing out the back. We were under the cosh, under pressure right away. 8th minute, Dave saves. Amazing save from David De Gea after Fred has another bad giveaway in the middle of the park. Look, Fred, up and down and all around. That's just what Fred is. This one could have been a goal. Would have been devastating to concede early at home. De Gea wise to it. World-class save from him. 10th minute, United can come out again, get caught out again. Lindelof with a great block. So we were getting forward. We were having opportunities, but we were just wide open at the back. And I felt like when Leicester figured that out, they were just ready to pounce. They should have capitalized here. And in the 20th minute, another huge opportunity for Leicester City. Dave saves. Another massive save, a scoop. He kind of scooped the ball out of the net with his right hand. He was strong. Referee checking his watch on a lot of these opportunities, like he thought it went in the net. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. It was really nervy. We were under the gun here in the first 20 minutes at Old Trafford, at home.
No, I mean, the absence of Casemiro is a huge one. And Fred, it was the best of Fred. It was the worst of Fred. He's the most polarizing player in the sense that he could play in the same game. He had a great assist later in this game, but like his shadow passes to nobody are just not terrific when you're the last man back in the midfield. And he had a couple of those. A lot of the opportunities that they had, we gave the ball away, and then we were totally caught out at the back. But De Gea, this one, especially the 20th minute where he scoops it out, I think it was like a bouncing header from Iheanacho.
Both were unbelievable.
They're
It should have been 2-0 to Leicester.
It should have been.
Literally any keeper other than maybe
World
Pope.
number one, bro.
That's
Pope,
what I say.
See, what about Karius? You think Karius saves those?
World number one. But look, it's all table stakes because at the end of the day, we got a number 10. His name is Marcus Rashford, 26th minute here.
Bruno Fernandes. And onside Rashford. Marcus Rashford does what Marcus Rashford has been doing consistently for week after week. He fires Manchester United in front. He is the Premier League's red-hot striker, and United lead.
Yeah, well, it's really clumsy on the part of Fass because, you know, he gave it away. It was a reckless attempt to find another blue shirt, and it's immediately fed in behind Fass with the run that Rashford made, and Bruno Fernandes again finding the assist. And he had all the time in the world to be able to just pick his spot. And he loves that far corner. Well, far corner or near side, doesn't matter. That's
Rashford
emphatic.
barely breaks a sweat, scores the goal. I mean, the best part about Marcus Rashford right now is when he's got that type of opportunity one-on-one with the keeper, you know it's money. Back in the day, when he was a young buck coming up, it wasn't always money, but now it is. And Bruno Fernandes with an amazing ball outside the boot, puts him in, and that's just a lethal combination for Manchester United.
Yeah, and shout out, Sabitzer does well to get the ball to Bruno in the first place. Bruno, I'm saying, I think he had his best game of the season for Manchester United. He was terrific. He could have had 4 assists in the game when he had 2. And this was a terrific one. Scoop ball, makes it look easy. And like you said, Rashford, he's been in that position a couple times this season and always seems to just ice it, stick it back corner. He had Garnacho on the run, could have fed him in, but he's like, in the form he's in, he's a proper number 9. He loves to score goals, and it's a great goal. And he looks like, you know how you kind of saw that maturation happen with Ronaldo in the first stint where all of a sudden he just showed him he was a man? And I'm not comping the two players because it's a different level. But like I just feel like Marcus Rashford becoming a man. He just like looks swole city, and he looks like he is not shying away from the pressure of being our arguably most important player on this team. So great for Marcus, keeping it going. Unbelievable form at the moment.
No, he's pointing to his head for a reason, right? It's the mental side. He's got all the attributes. He's had all the attributes since he was 19, getting his debut under LVG. It's just you become famous, then you get the expectations, then you don't meet the expectations, then you get criticized. Last year was a tough year for him, and he comes back better, finding new levels at Manchester United, from the academy. Sure, you like it makes you feel like you're a proud father seeing this young man grow up right before your eyes and blossoming into what we all thought he could become. Ronaldo-esque. I want to say it's a different type of Ronaldo. It's a better Ronaldo because ultimately Ronaldo was more tricks and flicks and scoring a lot of goals in that triumvirate of an attack where Marcus Rashford is looking to be that pasty, ice-cold number 9, just could score 30 goals for Manchester United in all comps, and being an academy lad. Ronaldo was also not an academy lad.
No, of course not. It's totally different. And there's always the feeling, and we can talk about this.
I'm in the Ronaldo camp too.
I know you are.
I have to say Rashford doing it this way is a little...
No, it's different because we always knew that Ronaldo was leaving. It was about keeping him for as long as possible. It was like they tried to keep him. He tried to leave in 08. Fergie got one more year out of him. We got another league. We didn't work out in the Champions League. We lost to Barca, but it was inevitability. He was always going to Madrid because the Iberian Connect. It was inevitability. With Rashford, it's like we have to keep that player because he's an academy lad. He's broken through at this United side. He's put up with so much bad football, and now he's found a manager that knows how to get the most out of him, that is obsessed with winning as Manchester United fans are, by and large. And it's just great to see. We got to keep him at United and give him whatever he wants.
Obviously, we just got to enjoy him because the new ownership, new contract, all that will be sorted out. But it is a little scary because you can't blame him if he hits this level and he's getting world-class money like Mbappe level cash people want to throw at him. And if you look at that list of the top 5 worldwide, he's knocking on it.
They get paid a lot of money, too. They get paid a lot more money than he does.
This season, he's knocking on it.
He is.
He's really knocking on that list. And when you trade and you're on that list, you get all the spoils. And so there will be people luring him away, and it will be interesting to see how that goes down. Back to the game, 37th minute, amazing opportunity for Dalot. Bruno puts in a peach of a ball, should be a goal, and somehow Dalot does not get to it. Didn't want to hit it with his left foot, I guess. Dalot looks like he's getting back into form, so I'm just going to give him a pass here. I don't think it was his best game. I don't think he did anything materially wrong, but he's clearly trying to get his mojo back, get his fitness up to the standard.
No, I think that's well said, sir, because this wasn't his best game, but I think he's grown from the last appearance he had, which was that maybe against Leeds. When he's in form, he scores this goal. It's an unbelievable ball from Bruno. He doesn't have much to do. He just has to get a good foot on it, and it's a goal. But that being said, we know that Dalot has real talent. He's going to keep maturing as a player. Hey, it happens. We could have opportunity. This is the way football goes. Like, we could have iced him in the first half after they could have iced us early in the first half. So once we got that goal, it was a totally different game. We were nervy for the first 20, 25 minutes. Rashford scores, and then United, we calmed down a bit.
And this is where Erik ten Hag, the Mad Dutchman in the lab, cooking it up because he sacrificed the number 10 spot in the first half, and then he brings in Sancho for Garnacho, puts Sancho at the 10, moves Wout up top, Rashford on the left, Bruno on the right, and finds a whole another level for Manchester United. 49th minute, Martinez hits the post from a top free kick, sent in from Shaw. 50th minute, chance for Rashford, but doesn't quite connect. We were steamrolling here. We really found it with this change. Simple change from the manager. Like I said, Manchester United and Marcus Rashford finding new levels. 58th minute here.
Fred, great ball. Rashford in on goal. 2-0. I think the flag's going up. Rashford is celebrating here. But Ian Hussin's flag has ruled it out, and the cheers are silenced. Let's have a look. Checked. And McTominay is going to be coming on. To the naked eye, it looks offside.
Yeah, and I think after last weekend, everything's taken a little longer. Wow. He's actually onside. Is it Vass? Vass that's kept him on?
Manchester United fans think this goal's going to stand. And Marcus Rashford has made it 2-0.
What a goal. What a finish by Marcus Rashford, because when they say you're in form as a striker, you're passing into the net, and I don't think there's a better goal that will represent you just passing into the net. That was so casual for Marcus. Just did the keeper dirty. What a finish. Offsides. VAR gets it right. He's on. The poor man's David Luiz. I don't know why anyone would want to be rocking that style, but he is for Leicester City, and he keeps them on, so shout out to the poor man's David Luiz.
Whoever the hell he is. Good point, sir. It's like when we've seen him miss chances like this in previous years, and now it's just like you know it's going in. He's just in such hot form, playing with such confidence, and he's calming down. We even talked about this under Ole, where he would just kind of like look to blast it, it past goalkeepers all the time, and now he's placing it in. He knows what he's doing. He goes through the keeper's legs. He's just playing electric football, and you love to see it. We've all hoped we would see this version of Marcus Rashford, and now we are. The Mad Dutchman is getting the most out of our number 10 because he's playing out of this world. Out of this world, the most informed player coming out of the World Cup, and thank goodness he is, because in some ways, like we need his goals. He is carrying this side. If you look at just the overall contribution from a goal perspective over these last 20 games.
And shout out to Fred for a great pass. Like you said, it was the best of Fred. It was the worst of Fred. Great ball into Rashford, onsides. He gets in behind, and just keeping it simple. I felt like last season, especially, Marcus was doing way too much hero ball. He was trying to make it way too complicated, and now you're seeing him timing his runs, playing the shoulder of the last man, getting in behind, and coolly finishing. Silky. He's got the mojo. He's got the swag, and that is what you want in a striker, and is awesome to see for Marcus. Please keep it up for our next 2 games, because who else is going to score goals for us? 59th minute sub McTominay for Fred. And speaking of who else can score for Manchester United, we would make it 3 here. Jadon Sancho.
And he's fed Sancho. Sancho can play it on to Bruno Fernandes. Brilliant goal. Manchester United at their very finest. Leicester City torn apart. Old Trafford stands as one and salutes their side, who lead by 3. And that
At this point, they're just having fun. What a goal. The give and go. Bruno Fernandes, Jadon Sancho in the back of the net. Great to see Sancho and Bruno linking up here.
Totally. Martinez does great. He puts in a big tackle, and that's what turns the play over in the first place. Marcus is involved, as you said, and then Bruno, Sancho, combination connect. Sancho's only 22 years old. Imagine if he finds form again, like we all know he can. This is probably one of the best games he's had, even though he only played for 1 half. So he looked electric all over the field. He was playing at 10. That was an interesting move from the manager. He was involved in a lot, and obviously the composure in this finish, he made it look easy, and you love to see it. You love to see it.
69th minute double sub. Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Alanga for Rashford and Shaw. Get the boys a bit of rest. 70th minute chance for Sancho after Wout puts in a good ball. 80th minute, another sub. Kobe Mainu for Sabitzer. Youth getting involved. At Manchester United, that is what it's all about. In 88th minute, great chance for Wout, but he blasts it right at the keeper. He should score. This one is a clear-cut scoring opportunity. But you know what? We didn't need it. It was 3-0. Manchester United do the job at home against Leicester City, which we should. And it was a huge, huge 3 points. Stat sheet, 26 shots for Manchester United to 19 from the Foxes. 8 on target for United to 3 for the Foxes. 58% of the ball to their 42%. Dominant performance at home, as it should be. Reaction-wise, there were 45 shots at Manchester United's 3-0 win over Leicester. 26 from United, 19 from Leicester. The most in a single Premier League game since Manchester United versus Burnley in October 2016.
Burnley.
I don't think that's a good thing for us considering that many shots. But hey, it was exciting football. End-to-end stuff. And Manchester United have won more games than any other side across the big 5 European leagues this season, 27. Indeed, their total is already 7 more victories than they managed last season. And comparing it to last season...
Last season was rough, huh?
I don't
we
know.
only had 20 wins all season. That was a hell of a year.
That was dark days. Some would say darkest before the
dawn.
Marcus Rashford has scored 17 goals at Old Trafford across all competitions, the most by a player in single season for Manchester United since Wayne Rooney in 11-12. And I believe that was his bald patch that was getting him all those goals.
He's killing it.
And Marcus Rashford scored his 23rd goal of the season in all comps, his most in a single campaign for Manchester United. 15 of those 23 have come in 17 games since the end of the World Cup. That is insanity. Since the World Cup, he's been absolute fire. And David De Gea, 180 clean sheets. Per the Manchester United official account and the website, he has tied Peter Schmeichel. I think there was an incorrect report that he passed him today, as well as that he tied it against Leeds. Apparently, somebody messed up the math on the clean sheets, but now he has tied Schmeichel, destined to overtake Schmeichel. Big shout out to De Gea, and he earned this one today. This wasn't an easy clean sheet. This is two worldly saves, played very well clean sheet from De Gea, which we need to finish the season.
100%, because if your defense, your midfield, if you're not clicking when you start the game, they're going to have chances. It's great to have a world-class shot stopper in De Gea who was at his best today. I thought even his distribution is getting better. You know, it's
There's
not
a few he didn't get right today.
No, of course not.
You know.
But it's about the saves. It's those saves, those goal-stopping opportunities, both of which arguably should have been goals. And that's why you pay him the big bucks, sir. That's why you can pay him $20 million a year.
He could easily do another 3 years for United.
He can. I think it'd be good to have a young keeper come in and like kind of keep him on his toes. But he has so much value to offer. That being said.
Get that man some Tesco donuts. I will tell you.
Tesco. How do you think Tesco donuts are in England?
I imagine any donut ain't bad.
That's
Have
true.
have you had a bad donut? I mean, like,
You can have a bad donut.
but you still ate it.
There you go. True. It's like pizza.
Looking at the table, the Gunners, like we mentioned, they did win. A nervy
Could have lost. It was close.
Two players in a clear offside position obstructing the keeper. It was like the same one. I think Xhaka hit a banger at Old Trafford, and there was another player in offside position blocking De Gea's view. Obviously, they don't call this. Same situation in this goal. It's a weird one for me. They don't call it because two Arsenal players clearly in offside position blocking the keeper's view of the Jorginho shot, and they never call that. I find it very strange. It's just a no call, even though that is actually offsides. They get the luck off the bar, off the Argentinian keeper's head and in the net, gives them the 3 points. They're on 54 in first place. You hate to see that. That one was a tough one. It was tough. I'm up early watching the end of that game. As soon as they hit the post, as soon as Villa hit the post, you knew that they were going to get it. And then shitty, tying Nottingham Forest. Let's go for second place. Come on. They have 52 points, 24 games played. Manchester United, 49 points, 24 played. Only 3 behind City and 5 behind Arsenal, but Arsenal have the game in hand. Let's hope that City beat them next game when they have to play at the Etihad. Do us a favor, we're only 5 points off. We got to control our own destiny here, but you look at top 4. This is what really matters.
Spurs overtook Newcastle. This is a live table, sir. They beat, who did they play today? West Ham. They beat them 2-0, I believe, and they overtook Newcastle. They're on 42 points. Then Newcastle drop out of the top 4 for the first time in a long time with 41 points. Fulham, Brighton, Scousers are chipping up. They're starting to find some form.
They're playing on Thursday nights for sure, even if they find some form.
It's true.
For us, it's all about top 4, right? I'm obviously heavily focused on the race. I want to be in the race. We're as close. We're not quite in a race. If City beats them, we're in a race. You know, if we're only 5 off
City
of it,
got to win that game.
If we're only 5 off of it, we're in a race. And so if you assume City beat them, and then City goes, 1 point above, we're 6 off City, 5 off Arsenal, we're in a race. It's the game in hand that's making it not a race right now. And I just want to be in a race. I don't think it's our year. I think top 4, when you look at Tottenham and Newcastle battling, I think that is going to be the battle for the 4th spot unless we just melt down or Casemiro gets more red cards or he gets injured or Rashford gets injured. If Rashford got injured, we would be in real big trouble. There are still lots of games that we need to play. So for us, the table is looking good. You want that 21st title. You want every Manchester United dreaming of that 21st title. Could this be our year? Could it all work out? Could the sky
Too early? It's too early, sir. I would love it, but we're going to need
Like
luck.
2%. You're saying there's a chance?
It's still 2%.
It could happen. I
It
mean,
could
like,
happen.
it literally could be. We
1
could
out of 50.
be-
It's like a 1 out of 50 chance.
It could be like almost
but you need some luck.
9,800 days away from our 21st title. You just never know how it's going to go.
We got to keep winning. At the end of the day, we got to keep winning. We're playing Liverpool. That's the next league game. After we're playing Europa League Thursday. Then we're playing EFL Cup final on Sunday. Then we're playing FA Cup 5th round proper against West Ham midweek. And then we're playing the Scouse Bastards. That's going to be a big match as they're starting to find their feet a little bit. I think we got Chelsea coming up as well. We got Spurs.
And that's going to Anfield, by the way.
Exactly. So we got a lot of big matches, sir. Arsenal, they're playing like the Evertons of the world, the Brightons of the world. But you know what? What I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing emotional Arteta. Arteta's getting emotional. He's getting a little too fiery, a little too fired up, and is starting to get under his skin. That gives me hope, sir. Because a stone cold killer like a Pep Guardiola, even he don't get that emotional, bro. But you could see eyebrows, he's starting to fade. I have a feeling they ain't winning, bro. They ain't winning.
It's going to be a very interesting end to the season, and it's going to go late into June because of the Winter World Cup. Fitness will be a challenge for all these teams. Tons of rotation, tons of fixtures, everything to play for. Man, is it an exciting time to be a fan of Manchester United. But, sir, what do we know? Let's check in with the manager. Mad Dutchman, cooking things up in the lab. How's he doing?
Yeah, I was really unhappy by our performance. We have to follow the rules and the principles from our way of play. When you don't, it's getting a mess. And then when you face a good opponent like Leicester is, you concede chances. Then it was only due to David De Gea that we don't concede goal. So yeah, we were really lucky that we in halftime we were 1-0 up. Of course, a great pass Bruno, great finish Ressi, but for the rest, it was rubbish.
Jane had a great impact. What was the thinking behind bringing him on specifically and taking Alejandro off?
First, I think second half we play like the principles and the rules of the game from us, and then we transfer the game plan, and then you see we are dictating the game. And with Jaden on the pitch, there was a lot of space in the midfield area. And to bring him there, to get more plays, good play between the lines, to get more dynamics. I think it works really well. Him and Bruno on that side, and I think with Wout up front, we get a better pressing. I think that's then due to the fact that we are more controlling, dominating, dictating the game, and finishing the game. And I think in the end it's a deserved win. But yeah, the meaning of the first goal is important.
James.
So he continues his praise of Wout in post-game pressers. I've never seen a player do less, give more praise from the manager.
Well, you know, they say the Dutch, they
I
look
think
out.
he kind of slated him there because he was like, we needed to get better quality in between the lines, and then moved him to just run around. I think
he's good at pressing.
He did.
He
The
made some big
translation
tackles.
is him pressing from the front is like, he can't do nothing in the midfield.
He
He's
can't
just got to
score.
put him
He
up there
can't-
to run around.
Yeah,
Like I
basically.
could run around for Manchester United. Get me a
Keep
shirt.
talking about yourself.
Let's go.
The real thing is,
Let's go. I
he's
gotta
watching out for his-
finish in my right boot. Let's go.
The Dutch. Okay, you want to rip Wout
I
for
can
another
curl
minute?
one in at
You
Old
wanna rip-
Trafford, no problem. Let's go.
They're boys, bro. They go around biking together, eating Struppen waffles and smoking hydro. You
The
know,
mad
as the
Dutchman.
Dutch are gonna do.
But more importantly,
He's
hard man to
Oh
please.
my god, you would have thought they lost. I was just thinking about this. Like, what would Ole
Well, it
Gunnar
did look rough.
Yeah, I know. We looked rough for 20 minutes.
First 20
and then we
minutes
looked
was
dominant for
brutal.
70. I agree. We could have easily been down, and we could have easily made this a really tough match, but it wasn't. It went our way. And look how the man reacts. He knows that they could have played so much better, that we gave them opportunities to get into this game, and he ain't happy, bro. Look at his face. I love when we win 3-0, and he looks like we lost 3-0. He looks furious watching him on mute, and if you had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer up there, he'd be like the happiest guy around. He'd be
Never
like,
met an angrier person wearing a turtleneck, I will say. He just he looks not too thrilled.
Yeah.
But we can only dwell on this match so long, sir, because we got a big game on Thursday. Hans and Franz on the turntables. Let's go. Manchester United versus Barcelona, Thursday night football under the lights, Old Trafford, round of 16. It's the second leg. First one at the Camp Nou, 2-2 coming home. There is no away goal rule anymore. I don't know why they scrapped that.
Bogus. That's got to be because they just want more football, right? More football.
Don't know the rationale. I don't sit on the UEFA competition committee. But
Let's
maybe
work on
one
that.
day, Thursday, February 23rd, noon Pacific. Hopefully, it's just as entertaining as the first one. You know, even if you
Even if it
don't
didn't go our
pull it
way,
out and it's that exciting and it's two teams going toe to toe. That's what everyone wants to see. Exciting football under the lights, Old Trafford, proper kickoff. Lifetime first Barca. We've won 3, we've drawn 5, lost 6. Obviously, the last one we drew, then lost the 4 prior, 2 being the 2 Champions League finals. Unfortunately, need to play some more so we don't have to talk about those because those still sting.
I need a green
Over a
square.
decade later.
I need a win. Those were rough.
Last time we were in Champions League final, May 2011. That's a long time. What was I doing in May 2011?
You weren't taking care of 2 kids
I
getting
had no
clocked out
idea
by
what I
your
was
wife.
doing. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Tell you what, you weren't
I was,
doing
having so many dark ales. I
doing
had
a
no
lot.
idea where I was.
You wake up at like
exactly.
noon, get a burrito, go back to bed.
Shout out to all the young America Red
Yeah.
Devils in the game.
Yeah, sleep in later and do less. The beat drop's coming, buddy. Here we go.
Oh my God! You know how many seasons of Europa League we had? Like this podcast,
More than
this-
Champions
or-
League.
This is our
More than
6th year.
Champions
This
League.
is our 6th year. We've literally had more Europa League than Champions League, and it's like that's why when we are in the Champions League and we can play the angelic voices, it just the tastes are
right
so
here.
sweet.
It's right here.
I'll tell you, you appreciate it after you hang out in the Europa League for a couple of years, which Manchester United has done. And look at us in top 4. Look how we're doing right now. All right, obviously Barcelona, top tier team. We saw them with the 4-2-3-1 with hair gel. Give me some more hair gel. Javi, he's got a player on his team named Gavi. Pedri, Rafinha, used to play for Leeds. Scum, obviously we don't like him. Frankie de Jong, the girl that didn't like our advances in the summer, and Lewandowski, he can score a goal. I mean, just tons of quality. The troll, they always got the troll. Jordi Alba, Ter Stegen, solid in net. It's a great team. Marcos Alonso, former Chelsea scum.
Rafinha looked great.
Koundé as well. We
He
were
was
linked
great
to
in the
him
home
from
match.
Sevilla.
Yep, he looked good as well.
Not really a weak player in that team.
No, like you said, they've been investing and investing and investing. I don't know how they have the money, but Rafinha, he was incredibly threatening in that match. Probably one of their best players over the 80 minutes because he did get subbed. He was pissed about that. Frankie de Jong was arguably one of their worst because he got shut down by Fred the Red the whole match. Had very little to say, but they're dangerous
That's
side.
a player. Like if he's soft, you know,
Of
the
course he
players
is.
like that where like you have big clubs coming after you
Sure,
and you're
stay
like,
in
I'm
Spain.
too good.
Stay
It
in
seems
Spain.
that
Stay in
that was
Spain.
like a Paul Pogba move. You know, it's like a Paul, I'm too good to go to Manchester United. Stays at Barca.
They did owe him
He's
a lot
not-
of money. They did owe him a lot of money. So
and I don't think he's gotten it.
it's good.
So you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know how much money they got.
trust me, when you have a debtor, you're better settling it than just hanging out on it because too many people are going to come to collect. If they have something to pay, you might as well take it. But look, Frankie de Jong, we don't want him at United anymore.
Yeah, I'm probably good.
Yeah, I wouldn't even take him.
Also,
You
depends
know?
on who her new
You don't get him,
buyers are.
Casemiro.
If it's one of
way
the
better.
Yeah, I mean, Casemiro, a different position. I think the whole thing is like you'd want someone. Not that there's an upgrade for Christian Eriksen, but another player that can swap in and out. Maybe that's Sabitzer, but you know, we'll see. Frankie de Jong, jury's out. I think it also depends highly on who the new owners are of this club. But the real story is Barcelona. It's going to be a grudge match. The first leg was awesome. The second leg, hopefully, it lives up to the billing. And hopefully, with United at home, Martinez available, Casemiro is going to shine. I think this is a great opportunity for United to just keep pushing the expectations higher and higher this year, because when we went into this tie, we weren't sure we could hang with one of the titans of Europe, and we can hang with them all day. We edged them slightly in this last match, so it's going to be a great game. I can't wait.
Injuries for Manchester United. Donny out for the rest of the season. Eriksen out till the end of April, so almost the rest of the season. Martial, the groin injury, he's fighting to come back. Antony fighting to come back. The injury list is shortening, but those two big attacking players, I really need Martial to come good into the end of the season. That would be huge, even for someone who like claps him upside the head on the podcast. Like I said, what are we doing bringing this guy back? He ain't gonna do nothing. He's injury prone. He has proven me right, but right now we're desperate for someone to replace, the
towering
guy,
Dutchman. The towering Dutchman.
Yeah, the Dutchman who plays 10 and then goes to striker. It cannot be dropped.
Or score.
He's uninjurable. He does not get hurt, which is he's very
why he
durable.
keeps
That's
playing.
good.
And he's fit, right?
He keeps
So
playing. He
he's
runs
playing
around.
90 minutes, and he does press a lot.
I could play 90 minutes run around.
You
Pay me
cannot
like
play
millions of
that.
pay me millions of dollars.
I'll tell you what, he can't score. He's not. He's.
I could
good.
win a header.
He's
I
good.
could-
He's a better. He's
I
probably
could,
a
I
better
could definitely
number.
win a header better than him.
You
for
might.
sure.
You might be able to. He's arguably a better number 10 than he is number
Did
9.
we come to consensus there that you agree I could win a header better than Wow?
Yeah, but I don't think you could dust him in a
I could
foot
body
race.
him up.
I don't
Like,
think
I'm
you
from
could-
North Jersey.
He
You
lost.
kidding me?
He
That guy,
lost the
where's he
header
from?
against Gavi, who was 5'10". So you have 4 inches on him. You should. Gavi's probably a little bit more fit than you are.
I probably get a red, straight red.
Yeah, elbow.
Bodying him up. yep.
Elbow. The biggest insult ever to the player that he was comped to, which is everybody's calling him a Fellaini. Like Fellaini was,
Get
he had a
out
lot
of
of
town.
shortcomings, but Fellaini was terrific in the air. He was unbelievable in the air.
He was good dropping
And
deep,
he was
too.
great with his. He's great with his chest control as well. He didn't press as much. He wasn't as quick. Yeah, I think Fellaini makes Wout look fast. But either way, sir, he's not going anywhere. We're definitely keeping Wout, bro. Like, this manager, he loves this Dutchman, and that's probably why he
I
likes
know.
Frankie de Jong as well.
No, he's like trying to like single-handedly like reboot this guy's
Yeah,
career.
well, they
Like,
must be
reboot.
boys. Like I said, they go
All
biking
right,
together.
We can save it for the rest of the Wout pod. What's your starting 11 here?
I'm doing De Gea, net, AWB, Varane, Martinez, Shaw. I'm going to do Casemiro, Fred, Bruno, Sabitzer. I'm playing the extra midfielder, and then I'm going to play Rashford and Sancho up front. Maybe Bruno goes on the right wing. You do Sabitzer the 10, or maybe you switch that.
He's not dropping Wout, brother.
I know he's not, but I want him to do it, so I'm pretending like he will. He's never going to drop out. He'll play every game for the rest of the season, basically. Because when's Martial coming back? Like,
I think you got to play the same way you played today. I think you got to go De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Fred. You got to put Sancho at 10, Rashford on the left, Wout up top, and Bruno on the right. I think you got to give Sancho a run at 10.
Sancho looked great at 10 today, and he looked terrific. One of his best games in the United kit, because there's not a lot of best games in the United kit for Sancho. So that's great to see.
Wout's going to play. Big Wout guy over here. I'm a big Wout fan over here.
Probably right. Booking the bookies. What have the bookies got? They have United. Whoo, we're the favorites now. You love to see it. Plus 135 for United, plus 230 for the draw, and plus 200 for Barcelona on the road. So how things have changed in a week, because it was 4 times your money. Obviously, going to Camp Nou is a different proposition.
No,
than playing at home. We've gained
really well.
We've gained the
against them.
respect of the bookies, sir. That's what I'm
I
saying.
think you're starting to see La Liga's fading. So Barcelona, the best team in La
it
Liga,
is.
really good defense, and then you realize they're playing against teams that are like BK bankrupt.
Like they beat Cadiz
and they're
today.
not good. Yeah,
They don't split the money the same way. This has been coming up in the news a lot, right? Like, I don't know, one of those like La Liga apologists on ESPN was like, well, why don't they consider this new Super League? Because that way they could like share the money
they're just
more.
bailing him out.
Well, the whole thing is their way of spreading up the football TV money is less equitable than it is in the EPL.
Of course,
it's
of course,
it's
yes,
almost
yes.
very equal. It's surprisingly equal. Like the lowest paid team still gets like 100 million, and then the top team gets maybe 150. But in La Liga, Real Madrid and Barcelona get like half of the money. Like they get all the money, and then all the other teams are starving to death.
No, but that's how
at the
they
same
run their
time,
league, and they've run
Barca
it to the ground,
and
yeah.
Real Madrid are like in debt to their eyeballs, and they're asking to be bailed out after they've been spending over the odds on players for 3 decades. I mean, the Galacticos, bro, they did it twice. So, you know what? No one has any sympathy for La Liga, sir. Premier League, let's go.
Score prediction: Barcelona, Manchester United.
3-2. Barn burner. United
3-2.
go through just like back-to-back stuff. Goals. Goal. Let's go.
I'm gonna say 0-0.
Yeah, probably.
Extra time. penalties.
De Gea scores the winner.
Extra penalties. De Gea misses the. No, I'll say. I could see a 0-0 extra time penalties. Barca win on penalties, something like that.
like
That's really
Very possible.
good game. A lot of heart. Didn't go your way. Type of situation.
Basically, the worst outcome, right? Because we play 30 extra minutes.
Worst outcome getting blown off the park.
You rather
a
almost
hard fought match that you go to penalties and it's
but you play 30 extra minutes and then you only get 2 days off, before a cup final.
Yes, of course.
That's probably the worst outcome.
As
Is losing
far as-
penalties.
As far as our track record since 2012-13, it's been bad.
Wrong, get blown out.
And since Jose won the Europa League, it's been bad. So yes, it's been bad.
Well, we got Bald is best, sir. Bald is best. Let's get some news.
United in the news. I say we start with the EFL final. Big news for Manchester United. Pope is out for Newcastle. Got a straight red. Can't play. Dubravka can't play. Karius will be the keeper for Newcastle. And if you told me that Pope was going to be out, I'd be thrilled. But the fact that Karius is rearing his ugly head, former Scouse bastard, he's going to have a worldie of a day. It's guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. This keeper who we have laughed into oblivion. We watched him lose the Champions League final. And we shamed him and laughed and had so much laughter at him. And then somehow, some way, the footballing gods have put him in net at Wembley. And it just seems to me that all the bad juju that we have been putting on him might come due. In a spectacular performance, because
He's a
you want to
third
keep
string.
laughing him.
He's a third
Look
string.
at you. He's gonna have a great day. He's got
He
the
will.
best game he's ever had.
He will. He'll have a great
100%.
game, and it's not going to be enough to beat Manchester United. He will have a great game. He'll keep Newcastle in the tie because
No, it will
this
be
Newcastle side are
oh,
sliding.
Karius.
They're
You'll be
sliding.
"Karius,
I know. He's going to have a bunch of big
I'm
saves.
telling you.
He's going to save a bunch of point blank shots against Marcus Rashford. He'll deny him early.
the Hollywood
He'll
script.
keep them in it, but we're going to beat up that Toon Army, sir. They are sliding.
It should be someone you never heard of.
Sliding.
Right? Here's the thing: the third,
He hasn't played a game in 2 years.
The
he
third
can't
choice
even get
keeper-
minutes, bro. He can't even get minutes.
you're still this. You're jinxing us even more.
This is
the whole
a
jinx.
Manchester United podcast. Any prediction is going to go
It's a 4D
one way or the other way, and the other way
It's a
can jinx
4D
us
jinx.
one
All
way.
I gotta tell you is that we have laughed so hard at that guy.
So tell him how great he's going to play.
And then literally, somehow, some way, he turns out to be the keeper because we're like, oh, yes, Pope is out. We're going to do great. And then Karius says he's going to be no good. And he's going to show up with a worldie of a game.
course.
Guaranteed. This always happens. Just like former players who manage against Manchester United, their team shows up. Former players who play for Manchester United always show up against
Always.
United. These things you just can't get away from. Karius, I'm nervous. I said it, Karius. I'm nervous. And people are listening to the
I'm not
pod,
nervous.
tell me I'm crazy. You watch that game, you're like, God damn it.
I'm not
Just
nervous.
like
he's
when-
going to kick the ball to his own net,
It's
sir.
the same thing when Villa hit the post in the 90th minute, and I was like, Arsenal will win. Because when that happens, it's just
Pope
like
was arguably the best keeper in the season in the Premier League this season to
he's
date.
De Gea number 2.
They had one of the best clean sheet records in the league. They've been sliding, sir. They drew West Ham. They drew Bournemouth. And then obviously they lost the Scouse Bastards
jinxing
yesterday.
us.
I'm not jinxing you. I'm telling you factual information about what they.
No,
what
you're
the
just
last
arguing for why we're going to win, which is like
I'm trying to be bullish on a Manchester United pod and be like, I was worried about Karius who hasn't started a game in 2 years.
just saying
he's
that
so good he can't even get minutes.
footballing gods
in a
are
Newcastle
cruel.
side before they got bought by Bonesaw.
Okay, the footballing gods are cruel, which is
just.
why our Spanish keeper had to kick a penalty against Villarreal.
Yeah.
The football gods
And they're
don't
going to pay
just
us
do
back
it.
with Karius, like world-class Karius?
The football gods don't just let you lose a final in a horrific fashion in 5 penalties. They're going to make you do 11 and then have your keeper that you love just bottle it. It's really, and they're going to have Ole wear the leprechaun suit. Footballing gods are cruel.
I swear
I'm
to
just
God,
telling you.
the real question is, what is our bald genius wearing to Wembley? Same outfit? He's got to wear the same outfit.
got to, of course.
Turtleneck,
If
blazer.
he wears anything else,
we're fucked.
as soon as Ole, but that's the same thing. Ole shows up
I
in
know,
a
a
fun-
zoot suit. He looked like such an idiot.
he shows up in a fancy suit. You lost, and that's when Liverpool showed up in the white suits.
Lost.
FA Cup, come on,
Nagelsmann?
It's like, Nagelsmann showed up
Lost.
in the fancy suit in the Champions League, but then he showed up when
Next
he
game-
changed his outfit.
Next
and then
week, he changed
just
his outfit.
buried us, and then made us play in the Europa League. That was another. We started The most heartbreaking thing ever was the Champions League to then go to Europa League. That is by far the worst thing. That is the worst because you're like, we're in the Champions League, and then all of a sudden you're like, why am I in the Europa League?
That could happen next year.
Like the worst thing ever.
I know.
All right, we could talk about the trials and tribulations of being a United fan over the last couple of years for a while, but let's get into the takeover news. Bids were in Friday. Everyone's going crazy about bids. Qatar apparently thinks they already bought the club.
They're acting like they have.
Just to give you an idea of how this works, like I said, the Glazers own Manchester United. They have the Class B shares that give them the right for change of control vote. They own the club. They got it by the neck, and they don't sell until they all say yes. All the Glazer kids, all of them have to say yes. And the reason being is that if one share is outstanding, they have a right to refuse a motion by the board to sell the club for change of control. So everyone has to say yes, and like I said, they all want $1 billion, and none of these bids, from what I hear, have hit what the Glazers want. So therefore, you have a bunch of bidders all coming in probably in the $4.5 billion, $5 billion range in a different sets of bids, right? Trying to get this club under what the ask is. So no one has paid what the Glazers want, and therefore there's no deal. Now once you get all the bids in, you have to make a market, sort through who the top 3 are. Usually you would go through, maybe say if 20 people bid, there might be 3 or 4 that are serious, and you go back to them and be like, you need to get here. Right? So there's a whole nother round of bidding, right? So you go to multiple parties, and it ultimately comes down to what the valuation will be. So if Jim Ratcliffe wants to pay a higher valuation and buy 69% of the club, that is a different view. Controlling stake, have the Glazers own some for the upside, have them cash out over time. It's totally possible to do. If the Qatari bid is $4.5 billion and they just want to strong arm the Glazers now and give them cash up front with no upside in the future, competing priorities in different types of bids, and there's no real set range of valuation. So you're really entering the race right now. This is the first inning. If someone paid full ticket, over the top, exactly what they wanted, then yes, this could run fast and maybe Qatar could get it announced in like a month or so. But from what I've heard, they're not bidding the ask. No one's bidding the ask, and there's a lot of people in this process, and it's going to shake out over time. So don't believe the journos. Don't believe the social media hype train, which makes me feel that Qatar already owns Manchester United. It's going to take time. Deals take time. Deals fall apart. Deals come back together. This is how M&A works at the highest level. It's never straightforward. Like, it's a race, sir. It's just like this title race. Who's going to win? Nobody knows. Multiple rounds. It could be on, it could be off, etc.
100%. It's a lot of noise. There are front runners, but you know what? They're also doing PR. They're playing the PR game, and no one's leaning in harder and playing the PR game more than the Qataris are, acting like it's a foregone conclusion, talking about there's going to be no debt, talking about how they want to invest in the club, talking about how they want to return United to the glory days and return them to the top, one of the top clubs in the world. And then there was like some other news that came out today, sir, where it was like, hold on, don't say that you want to bring United back to the top, because that's making the connotation that the United hasn't been run well for the last 18 years by the Glazers. So don't insult the Glazers. Like, they haven't been some of the worst fucking owners in the history of sport, or at least in the modern era. So I don't know what's going to happen with the sale process. Like you said, there's so many ins and outs. There's so many details to these bids that it's some ways they're apples and oranges, given like what do the Glazers want at the end of the day. They want money. They want each $1 billion. And like you said, I don't think anyone's hit the $6 billion mark where they would each get $1 billion. So this could go in a bunch of different directions.
Glazers aren't cutting a deal. I'll tell you. They'll hold the line at 6. And here's the thing. You want Manchester United? Come and get it. And that would be my attitude if I was selling it too. Glazers don't need to move nothing. And at the end of the day, everyone thinking the Glazers are already gone, like, you have lost your mind. They're running a process, and if no one wants to jump to what their tune is, they're not going to go. These are shrewd business people. They're almost even like, just because they inherited from their father, they just want as much money as possible. And if they're not going to get it, they'll wait and do it again. They could call off the process tomorrow. This isn't like guaranteed done deal. If there's no buyer there, why not hold it for another 5 years through the next recession and then sell it on the upside? It's only going to go up in value. Talks of Super League, valuation's going to go up.
They have to put more money in.
No, they have to just get someone to buy. They can raise it in a secondary. There's a ton of mechanisms that they can pull here. The debt Jim Ratcliffe's talking about is even more debt. They might be able to restructure the debt. There's probably a lot of options. They're probably sick of the club. Rumors were that Avram and Joel wanted to buy out their siblings. They didn't want to sell. It sounds like some want to sell, some don't. This is not a guaranteed thing that they are going to sell this club, despite what everyone is telling you via the sports journalism news. They do not understand how this process goes. This is a multi-billion-dollar asset. They're going to hold for the highest ticket value. Trust me. And if nobody wants to jump, I don't know if they even sell. If they can't meet their valuation, 5.5, like for them to come down, I think would be crazy, honestly.
Yeah, but I know that the clubs that have sold in the past, even if you take the broader sporting audience, it's only one Manchester United, and I get that. But at the end of the day, like the record is what, 3.6
Dude, the Redskins,
billion pounds.
The Washington Redskins are going to sell for like $6 billion. Like
$6
the
billion
Washington
for
Redskins.
Who?
The Washington Redskins.
Did they change their name?
Sorry,
Washington Commanders.
Commanders, Washington football
Whatever,
team.
it
They're
doesn't
going to
matter.
go for like 6 or
Are
7.
they?
Yeah, no, like that's that.
But isn't the world
but
record
again, he's
the
running
Denver
up.
Broncos 3.6 million pounds?
He's selling. Look, at the end of the day, this club is worth a lot of money, and you'd be an idiot to sell it for a discount. You know, obviously the asset's distressed. It doesn't look. You know, there's solutions that they could run. I'm just telling you. Usually deals fall apart. Every single M&A deal at one point will die and come back. And this is how it's a very up and down type of process. It's a tit for tat. Oh yeah, raise all in type of move. Like this isn't a clear cut thing. When Qatari wants to bid 4.5 and they want 6, do they really want the club? Are they real fans of Manchester United? Are they really going to pay full ticket? Because if I was a big fan, I'd pay $6 billion right now.
If I had $6 billion to pay,
If I had $6 billion and $1, I'd pay all of it.
Live in the stadium, you wouldn't be able to invest in anything.
So you'd be on payroll. You could pay yourself.
Yeah, because this
I could be the mascot.
If we wash the debt out, then we'd have some real cash to play with.
I could pay myself to be Wout 27.
How
on
much
the club.
excitement would be around this club if we still had Ralph Rangnick hanging around or Brendan Rodgers as our manager, and we were chilling in 7th or 8th place and didn't have fell upon the golden goose that is Erik ten Hag. We lucked out. We lucked out. We found ourselves a great manager that is just the perfect mold for making the most out of this team.
And it gives the Glazers leverage.
It gives them a huge amount of leverage because we're firmly in top 4. That looks like it's almost a sure thing because we're 8 points between us and Newcastle now in 5th place. So you make a good point, sir. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that they would sell just because it does need more cash in some capacity. But you bring up good points as you could sell secondaries. There's a lot of ways to raise more money, restructure the debt. But
it's more of a posturing.
I feel like they're sick of it. I feel like some of the siblings are definitely sick of it. But
you don't know. Nobody knows. And that's the thing. It's a posturing. Here's the thing. You're going to run a sale process. You're going to see what people offer. If you don't like their offers, you're not going to sell. If you're a shrewd business person, that's how it goes. You might run a sale process. Hey, there's no deal right now in this environment. Can't find anyone that wants to pay for it. We're going to hold, and we'll sell it in 3 years, sell it in 4 years.
It's a bear market still, so it would make sense to hold it, especially if you have a top-flying new manager and you pick up a Premier League and you're challenging for Champions League
I'm just
titles.
trying to say what no one else is saying. What you're hearing online is that
I was
we are a
arguing
Qatari-owned
the opposite, so.
team. That's basically all I've gotten is we're Qatari-owned. They've already bought us. That's what social media says. And I'm trying to say, look, M&A processes are up and down and all around. And what the Glazers would do is if no one meets their value, they're going to be we're not going to sell. And that's obviously a tactic.
Right.
And then you
Which
might strike a deal that way.
I can see that coming. They'd be
exactly.
no one met our offer.
Exactly.
We're selling for $6 billion. Unless you post $6 billion, we're out.
If you know anything about the Glazers, something tells me that they're not going to budge on what they want. If I own Manchester United, someone's got to wine and dine me. Someone's got to write the amount of money I want and wine and dine me because this club is something that is intangible and people will pay
huge amounts of money for.
Irrational money. To own this club, as sacred as it is, it's irrational money. You're getting into irrational money, and that it has to be that. We appointed some guy as director of football operations. He used to be at Everton. John Murtaugh's just trying to take a boy of his, similar to what Erik ten Hag's doing with Wout, and get him in and promote him so that he has a title before everyone gets axed and when they get sold.
And guess what? John Murtaugh, you're the first guy that's going to get shit canned. So smell you later.
Jumping into fan questions here. This one's from Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord channel, please check it out. Invite is pinned on our Twitter profile. We have over 1,000 Muppets in our Discord chat. Matchday chat's absolute fire. This one comes from Zen. Hey, lads, just something to add to the Wout train. Maybe it's not just brotherly love. Maybe the manager is playing 4D chess. I'm reminded that even though he isn't scoring, he is a threat out there and needs to be marked. Maybe it's like a rope-a-dope tactic. Get the opposition used to Wout's pace and attacking movement, then sub Rashi in there once the defense is worn out a bit. Catch them off pace. They haven't had a full match to mark Rashi. Just a thought. Erik ten Hag knows what he's doing. That is interesting. Have slow Wout in there, and then all of a sudden you put Rashford. Whew.
I mean, it's a good point. I mean, if you've seen the goals that have been being scored, he's making good runs. He's doing a good job with the press. He doesn't have a good finish, and he's not good in the air. And that's a challenge when A, you're number 9, and B, you're a 6'7" number 9. So,
No, but he's a hassle to deal with, and I understand the angle.
I also
regardless,
trust his
Erik ten
manager.
Hag can figure it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Like we trust it, and Eric we trust because he can win with Wout in the team.
It's
3-0.
unbelievable.
And then slate the lads. Yeah, get him. Yeah, slate him. Yeah, we haven't done nothing yet. And you know why he's slating him? He's slating him extra hard because we got Barca and we got a final.
That's right.
And he's gonna be super hard on the lads. He's gonna be like, and that's the way your manager should be. It's like, let's go, put up or shove time. At Jamal Motah from Twitter, sirs, man, I love this game. I don't want to hear ish about Dave's passing when he makes those saves. Wout can't score, but he can slide tackle from behind. Bruno, a master passer, and I can't find more words to describe Rashi's form right now. Erik ten Hag is the one. 2 big matches up the Reds.
Erik ten Hag, he is the one. Everything you said, Jamal, is correct. Yeah, lights out. Who gives a shit about distribution when you can make saves like that and literally like negate XG? Like, here's your XG. We'll smoke you, XG. Wout. He was putting slide tackles in, so there's something. And Bruno was, like I said, he was fantastic tonight. He could have had 4 assists. He was unbelievable. And he's making that scoop pass that he did for Marcus's goal just look easy now. He just doesn't even think about it. So our Portuguese Magnifico continues to impress.
At you, Bosun, quote, just one question. Did you see Wout's fantastic movement for those 3 goals? Jokes aside, it's once more a fantastic feeling being a Manchester United fan. It is true. Ulrich, it's a great time to be a United fan. Probably the best I have felt, like really, really confident about where this club is going right now. And we always said it here on the pod, darkest before the dawn. And
Always.
and we went to the darkest game of them all, the final game last season, saw it live.
You think that's darker than what I saw us get like the shit kicked out of us by the Scousers 5-0?
Oh, dude,
Joyless.
We had
game.
nothing.
We had
Crystal-
nothing. We had nothing at home.
Paul
It was at home.
Pogba, Ronaldo didn't even show up.
I know. I love
then some players didn't want to clap the fans at the end of the season. That was brutal. That was a brutal.
What would have happened
And
this
we
season?
we were watching our phones for the Liverpool result. Like that was the only thing we had. We flew all the way there for a game. We lost.
Barely watching our own game.
It was crazy.
What would have happened? Here's a little Monday morning quarterback or devil's advocate. Erik ten Hag wanted to get rid of Ronaldo from the jump. What happens if we get rid of Ronaldo in the summer like he wanted and the fucking front office has listened to him instead of being like, well, he sells jerseys. He's got a lot of followers on Instagram.
That was Joel Glazer.
I know it was. Of course it was because they're the ones running the show. You
They
think
got it
changed
right in the end.
They did.
Here's the deal.
Well, I mean, Ronaldo forced our hand. But he
Got
does
it.
a huge favor because here he is. He's sweating in the Middle East, bro. Just like having a great time.
Got it right in the end. That's all I got to say. And the right thing is the right man, the manager. That is the biggest thing. The biggest weakness we've had since Sir Alex departed was we never had a real man in seat who could stare people down, stop the nonsense, and get them to show up and play. And he is doing that job. At Chris Cardona 12, quote, Ten Hag is really giving life to the team, and the group looks like they're believing in themselves and the manager. A good feeling considering we came from watching United games is bad for your health. It's been a long way.
It's unbelievable.
Watching this team is bad for your health. How long has it been? Feeling absolutely amazing. At Rolling in the Deep 1995, sir, 18 million for Sabitzer. Definitely sign him off of that. We looked a bit tired during some periods, but put Leicester to the sword within the opening 10 minutes of the second half. This team is showing immense fight and character, and I am so proud. Hashtag glory, glory, Man United. That's it. That's the podcast. Thank you for all the America Red Devils listening around the world. Sir, give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? London, England, New York, New York, Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, Dublin, Ireland, Washington, D.C., Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas, Denver, Colorado,
Washington, D.C.
And last but not least, Toronto, Canada. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. We got a big, big week for Manchester United. We got Barcelona at home, under the lights. They beat. I remember laughing about like, oh, they play their tune-up matches against Cadiz. They won it against Cadiz today, 2-0. But it's going to be a big game against Barcelona, and then we're headed down to the Wembley to play Newcastle. Carius, your
Wembley.
boy.
There's no the.
It's
It's
the
just-
Wembley. The Wembley. We're the famous Man United, and we're going to the Wembley.
No,
You're
no,
right.
it's not.
Yeah, fuck you. Manchester United. I love this club. I love the bands. Top bands.
Don't forget to support the podcast. Like, subscribe, give us reviews. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/America Red Devils. Our store, AmericaRedDevils.store. It's always a blast doing these podcasts. And 3 points. We're going to leave you with a simple one, sir. The Stretford End, a rising here as it was a rising today against the Foxes. Let's go. Barcelona next.